The Angry Marks Podcast Network is brought to you by WrestleWork, a social network to connect, create, and share everything about pro wrestling. Check it out today at WrestleWork.com.
You're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Well, that's going to do it for our talk about Fight Night. Let's move on to World Series of Fighting, 19 this Saturday, and a couple of big-name fights here. Main event, Justin Gaethje against Luis Palomino for the lightweight title, and we got some tournament fights.
Luis Baboon Palomino.
Palomino, sorry.
Or just call him Baboon.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, but it's actually a badge of respect.
Okay.
Hey, if you don't believe me, go listen to my interview with him. It's up on YouTube, and it's on MMAmania.com.
There you go. Stevie J, the Mick Foley pop of the night there.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I suppose you want my predictions for this fight, don't you?
I would assume you're going with Gaethje on this one.
Well, yes. There are a few reasons why, and I'll give them to you. Gaethje has finished 10 out of 13 opponents with punches or kicks. He even finished one with a slam. Yeah, like
that was funny, yeah.
Quentin Rampage Jackson style. He slammed him unconscious. So Gaethje is a finisher. But I will say Palomino is a scrappy fighter. He's won by decision 8 times, but he's also been beaten 9 times. There are chinks in his armor, and one of them seems to be that because he's so strong and because he's so aggressive in a fight, he can start to gas out. So the reason that I'm picking Gaethje is not because Palomino doesn't have the power to knock him out. It's because they both have knockout power, but Gaethje has the gas tank.
I'm going to go with Gaethje as well, but I just, for those reasons, I mean, you have most of the reasons I have on my list as well, so I just don't think Palomino has, he's a very skilled fighter here, but I think Gaethje is just a little bit above,
He's just a little younger, a little hungrier, and got a little more cardio.
Absolutely. Moving on to the tournament fights for the light heavyweight tournament they're going to be having. The opening round sees Matt Hamill against Thiago Silva, and in a reserve bout, Jake Hewen fights Teddy Holder.
Now, in the first one, I've got Thiago Silva. This is actually a rematch of a fight they had back in 2013, and because Silva got tired in the third round, he wasn't able to finish, but he had already hurt Hamill so badly in the first 2 rounds that Hamill had no chance to win. So I see this fight going pretty much the same way, except I think it's going to be even more decisive. I think Silva gets the knockout this time.
No, really?
No shit.
I like Hamill. I like his story. I like what, his career. Always been a big fan of his. But in this fight, you gotta go with Silva.
Yeah, and in the reserve bout, I've got Teddy Holder. Now, the Honey Bear Jake Hewen is a little better known and a little more familiar with the World Series of Fighting. It's his second fight, whereas for Holder, it's his debut in the promotion. But I like Holder's prospects. He's 8-1, and he's definitely got the striking ability. He's got 4 first-round finishes in his last 4 fights. So I think Holder is the man to look out for as the reserve fighter who's going to advance if somebody gets injured.
I like Hewen in this, actually.
Okay. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong to like Hewen. He's got finishing power, 50%, 57% even, are finishes in his wins. So he could go out there and knock Holder around, but I think Holder might surprise him.
The other main card fight is Timur Valiev against Ed West.
And I've got Valiev via unanimous decision. He is a Russian wrestler, and he will probably take this one to the distance by outworking West, who is kind of a wild brawler, but is very inconsistent of late. He was 4-4 in 8 Bellator fights. So, again, I say there's chinks in the armor, and Valiev would probably be the man to exploit them if he can just take him down repeatedly and outwork him on the ground.
Now, dude, you can guess the lyric here, but UFC champion Ronda Rousey was on The View this past week. I'll say this beginning, you say the end, okay, boss?
Sure.
She said, I got 99 problems.
And a bitch ain't one.
Yep.
That's pretty much her attitude about this fight. I I don't know if you heard any of the UFC Rio press conference, but she basically said, this woman is disrespectful. She's a blank. I don't like the blank. I'm going to punish her, and I'm going to do it in her own country.
She was at UFC show in Brazil this past week. She did the 4 horsewomen symbol, took 2 of her fingers down, then went back to the 4, and then put them upside down. So basically, they're going down, then basically did like the heart sign, all that stuff. But she's still doing that 4 horseman sign and basically disrespecting it, so.
That's why Ronda takes it personally. But you know what? Who cares if it's all real or if it's just a great storyline? Because Ronda Rousey sells the hell out of it. The fact that she says it's personal and that she wants to take her down for disrespecting her and her friends, that's going to make that pay-per-view so much more entertaining. I can't wait for that fight.
Correa said, and I quote, "I want to give Rousey a gift, something she's never had before, a loss."
Well, good luck with that.
And I said, well, she did lose. I mean, in the Olympics.
Yeah, you know, that's something I actually get from a lot of people I interview when I talk to them about what they did before they got into mixed martial arts. And a lot of them, especially the wrestlers, will say, I know how it feels to lose. I've lost wrestling matches before. It's not a big deal to me. I know how to deal with it at this point. So I'm already well prepared for anything that can happen.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's just on this stage it's something different.
It is. You know, it is very different.
The UFC has made a couple signings from Cage Warriors. They signed Cage Warrior welterweight champion Nicholas Darby, as well as undefeated prospect Tom Breeze.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to their fights at some date in the future.
Now, there is one other note I have here before we go, and this just hit the wire not too long ago. You know the whole Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo tour they're doing to promote their fight?
Yeah, that also started at the UFC press conference in Rio. The same one where they announced Bethe Correia versus Ronda Rousey in Brazil. They kicked off the world tour, and they had Conor McGregor come out and do a whole bunch of trash talk on Jose Aldo, saying that he was going to do something that Aldo had never seen before, and that was finish him.
Well, today they're in LA.
Right.
And both fighters accused the other of taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, this is gonna be one heck of a build. I hope neither of these guys gets hurt between now and International Fight Week, because we already know Conor can talk the talk, and we already know Aldo thinks he's a clown and doesn't like him and thinks he's not on his level. So they're only going to get more and more pugilistic with their words as time goes by. And I love it. I want them to just be steaming mad at each other. Even if they're just trying to build up the fight, I want them to get so into building up the fight that it gets personal. I want it to be like Jones and Cormier. I want there to be bad blood.
It's going to be messy, but I agree with you in the sense that I want this fight to happen. As far as making a prediction, though, I don't know. I'm not tipping my hand yet on that one.
It's too early to say, but history would suggest Jose Aldo. But Conor McGregor is a phenom that we haven't seen the likes of in a while.
And depending on what happens in that fight, you could definitely easily make the rematch.
That's true. I think there'd probably be enough bad blood for them to do it again. You know what? Speaking of rematches, we may end up getting another Miesha Tate Ronda Rousey fight because they said that Tate and Zingano will be a contenders fight.
I'm tired of Tate and Rousey. It's going to be the same fight again and again with the same result.
And Rousey welcomes that. She said, hey.
I'm sure she does, but that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome.
Well, you're going to have to do something with Tate then, because she is still one of the top bantamweights in the world. So if she can beat everybody other than Rousey, she's going to have to keep facing Rousey. You're going to have to do something.
Have Tate say, you want to fight Rousey there, Cyborg? You got to get through me first. Tate, Cyborg. Winner gets Rousey.
Well, if she gets Rousey again and loses to Rousey again, maybe that's what they'll do.
Well, time will tell, that's for sure.
And it will. But that's going to just about do it for Glove Up or Shut Up.
Yep. What's on tap for Thursday night AMP?
Oh, a whole bunch of things. We're going to have on Sonny Roselli who is a ring announcer and promoter for a territory in the Northeast that our friend Mike Poulin works for. We're going to talk to him for a little bit, and then we'll talk to Sheldon Goldberg and get his views on all things NECW and what's going on with them. And we'll probably also have a bonus interview with my good friend Michael Z, who is very closely affiliated with Ring of Honor and can give us the inside scoop on the road to Redwood City.
Now, I'm sure there'll also be a preview of some show happening this weekend.
Yeah,
I think it's in San Francisco or something like that.
Yeah, at Levi's Stadium. We will be doing that. It will probably be an extra long show on Thursday, so get your popcorn, get your beer, sit back, get comfortable, because we got a lot to talk about. We got 2, if not 3 guests, so there's gonna be no shortage of material for Thursday Night AMP this week. Brought to you by WrestleWork.com, the social media resource to create, share, and connect for everything about pro wrestling.